from Legion Field at Hammond Stadium in Rocky Top Sportsplex on top of the Smoky Mountains, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. A beautiful view from the top of the mountain. The 2019 National Athletic Association of Private Schools All-American 8-man football game taking place here. Fantastic group of gentlemen who have performed extremely well over the season and are ready to show in front of 20-plus college scouts what they could do on the football field. Spencer Thompson and Isaiah Austin from 8-Man Extreme, proud to be here on call for this one. And a lot of stars, not just from the Extreme All-Star Game, but stars from all across the country, such as California, Kansas, Alabama, primarily Tennessee for the majority of the players on the roster. A lot of great guys to look at in this game, Isaiah. Just fantastic for these guys to get one more game and to potentially take it to the next level.
Yes, and it's pretty obvious that this is the largest collection of talent in an 8-man football game that we've seen in a long time. You see these guys from their collective schools. Two schools are represented here that played for the national championship. Their best players here playing alongside the best players from throughout the country, not just the Southeast and not just the state, but throughout the entire country. And it's going to be awesome to see how these players perform.
And, of course, both teams led by two state champions, especially Coach Jordan Flanders from Christian Community, winners of the MTAC championship this year, as well as Andy Braddock from Russellville Christian winning their state championship. So, obviously, two national champion schools represented here as well, including Evangel Christian and some other places as well. But to be led by two state champion coaches especially, it's going to be a heck of a ball game for sure.
It's going to be interesting to see how much of this game goes down to coaching. We see these two coaches have been highly successful in their tenures at their school. How much of it has to do with players, how much of it has to do with them. I can tell you firsthand these players' game plan, these coaches' game plan has really elevated these teams and made these players go from good players to great players. So it's going to be awesome to see how these players perform under these championship coaches.
A lot of stars on the field this afternoon for the 2019 8-man All-American game for the National Athletic Association of Private Schools. Rocky Top Sports Complex, home of the National Athletic Association of Private Schools for not only their Patriot Bowl they had earlier this month for their Division IV championship, but home for the All-American games, and they are honoring 2 players on the field right now. Tyler Henderson from Evangel Christian out with a lower body injury this game, as well as Cooper Guy from Bowling Green Christian Academy out with a knee injury. Both of them still coming up here to support their teammates, as well as the rest of the All-Stars coming here. So just being honored at the middle of the field.
Both guys had great seasons. Tyler Henderson showing out at quarterback, having one of the highest QBRs in high school football.
Of course, Peter Coleman on the field with them as well, head honcho and coordinator of this All-American game, as well as the 11-man game that we'll be calling later right here on the NAPS YouTube channel. So the Stars will kick off. Team Stripes elected to receive, winning the coin toss. And kicking off for Team Stars. And we are off in this 8-man football game, and the ball is muffed and loose, still on the ground. Looked like it could have been a disaster there from the get-go for Team Stripes.
Yeah, that could have gone south really, really fast for the Stripes, but able to recover it and first down on, looks like, the 32-yard line.
So each quarter, because this is the All-American game, they are playing 15-minute quarters with how many All-Stars there are for every team. In 8-man football, usually used to 12-minute quarters, so adding that extra 12 minutes for the entire game will be a huge factor here. As the starting quarterback for Team Stripes, Nathaniel Rowley, the state champion quarterback out of Christian Community, hands it off, rushed in the middle by John Buchanan Jr. out of Franklin Christian. Goes for about 9 yards for a 2nd and 1.
Yeah, John Buchanan getting the start, running up the middle for a big gain on the play. Looks like we got a ref down.
We've got a referee down on the field right from the get-go. He's clenching his hamstring. Looks like he got stuck a little bit in the pile there. Already 20 seconds in, an unfortunate injury. We're going to take a look at him to make sure he's all right. Already early on, we'll step aside. Everybody back up to the line. They've taken the official to the stretcher there, so they're now working four. Well, I actually think he got back up and was all right. As Buchanan goes to the right side. John Buchanan with the stiff arm. Right side open. John Buchanan weaving through. Just like he did in the Battle of Franklin, down to the 25-yard line. A huge gain for a first down.
A very shifty back. Is quick, but also super strong. As you see here, he gets to the outside with his speed, but once he gets free, pushing defenders off of him, Derrick Henry-esque player. It makes me, I say it mixed between Deion Lewis and Derrick Henry in a way, because he's shifty and small, but can also stiff arm and get away from defenders.
No, of course, you hope that's the thing the college scouts are saying about him as well. So we do have a player injured. Looking from here, it looks like it's Buchanan clenching his looks like his right calf right after there.
Yeah, and what I could say for scouts going forward is you see John Buchanan, and he's not a very big guy, but his size and strength is very deceptive. He might be 5'8", but he's 185 pounds, and has a lot of quickness and a lot of size to be able to get through those holes and fight through the defense.
We got another injury timeout here. Buchanan down in the field. Buchanan being carried off to the sideline. It looks like he kind of slid at the end of the run there. So they're resuming the time on the clock and see another play from Team Stripes.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how they deal with this injury. Of course, you don't want to have an underclassman like John Buchanan injured and playing through it. So if they can get him healthy before they worry about this game, that would probably be the maximum priority for this coaching staff right now.
So now they have Derek Jefferson, another teammate of Rowley's, goes out to the right. Got motion. Pass, left side, incomplete. That's between the hands of Patrick Gandy, the senior.
That was a great idea by Rowley, but Gandy not able to get up high enough to get that ball, just a couple inches too tall for him. And Nathaniel Rowley leading the Christian Community School Colts to 0 losses since 2016 in the regular season.
Here's a rush right side, staying on his feet, touchdown! Joshua Collins, the senior, into the end zone.
Man, is he quick. As we see here, just finds the edge, breaks through the defense. Nobody can touch this man when he gets full speed.
Already 6 points on the board for Team Stripes, and we saw a little bit of action from Team Stars on having a field goal kicker there, but I'm not sure if we remember anybody on Team Stripes who is field goal capable, or at least has done any this season. The 2-point conversion attempt right side. Diving catch!
What a catch!
Goodness! Brilliant 2-point conversion made.
That pass was right on the money, and great effort by the receiver.
Ty Schaufel, easy catch there. Not an easy catch. 2 points.
Made it look easy.
Something you see out of a storybook for sure. 8-0 Stripes over Stars. Kickoff by Team Stripes from Addison Stout. Here's a return from Taylor Wood, senior out of Russellville. Christian left side! The senior gets shoved out at the last second at the 40-yard line. Big run for Taylor Wood.
Taylor Wood is certainly not tall, but man, is he quick. It seems like you blink and he's made it from the 10-yard line all the way to the opposing 40.
Now we do have a flag in the backfield. Got a flag from the official, waiting to get the call. Don't have his name on the list here, but we'll get the call on the lapel mic in just a moment. See what we got from our official.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
So receiver number 10 was a foul on Marshall Masterson. So they bring it back to the spot of the foul at the 25-yard line.
Still, first down, Team Stars.
So take away a big run from Henderson. 1st and 10.
It's going to be interesting to see how this offensive unit responds to the Stripes getting an early score on the board in the first 2 minutes of the game.
Pitch in the backfield. Immediately met by that defense. It's a handoff attempt to... They tried giving that to Noah Shears, just stuffed by that defensive line of the Stripes.
Yeah, and they weren't ready for that that rush defense, just blitzing on the first play of the game on defense and trying to set the tone early.
Now Noah Shears from Evangel Christian School, senior out of there, who helped lead his team to a national championship against Christian Community. The Christian Community guys on the other side here wanted to get a little bit of revenge from that loss. It's another sweep backfield. Ball loose! Still loose and on the ground! Finally picked up in the backfield by Jared McMullen. A lucky recovery for them.
And this has been a disastrous start for the Stars so far. A 3-yard loss on a run and then immediately a fumble right after that. They're going to have to step it up if they're going to have any momentum going into the rest of this ball game. But remember, they need to put subs in. These guys aren't typical subs. These are the best of the best. They need to find a lineup that's going to work and run with it.
So lucky recovery there for the Russell Christian senior. It's now 3rd down and 15. It's what they're facing on the 18. Of course, led by Coach Andy Braddock, the head coach for Russell Christian, led them to their state championship this past season, and time called by the officials, just getting ball placement correctly. So it's actually back on the 14-yard line. Make that the 13.
That fumble lost them a lot of yards there. You got to remember, though, a lot of these guys haven't played ball in a couple months. Hopefully they've been working out. But early, we're going to see who's been putting in the work and who hasn't played football in a couple months. So far, these lineups have been strong, but a couple mishaps by this offense so far.
So there's a little bit of miscommunication about the clock here. Got the operator getting something that worked out. They were asking for the music to be cut off on that. They were just asking for the music to be cut off in stadium. Play resuming. 3rd down and another stoppage of play. Looks like the officials are checking something out here. Like something indicated with the center. You know, it's moments like this we wonder about a penalty announcement or clarity of what's going on in the field.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's been going on for the past 2 minutes, but looks like they're about to resume play now.
And clock resumes. 3rd down and long. Attempted scramble, deep toss left side. Diving catch incomplete. Right through the hands of Jared McMullen. Just a little bit over him, and the punt team likely to come out.
Yeah, and that put the receiver in a difficult spot. The ball was just a little bit to his left, and he was looking over his right shoulder. That's almost an impossible ball to catch unless he's looking over his left shoulder.
So now 4th and long. The question is, do you go for the punt here in an all-star game, or do you just continue to go for it to get your players more game time?
Certainly you punt it because, you know, your punters are on the roster as well, and you also want to be competitive or else there's no point in playing this game. One last chance to get a win if you're a senior.
Deep back to receive. It's the punt away from, looks like it was Riley Hall from Riverside Christian punting it up. It's touchdown by Brock West. Now we'll see the offense come back out under the offensive coordination of Jordan Flanders, head coach for Christian Community School. Led them last year to the NHSA championship, victorious in that. Led them to a state championship in the MTAC this year. Lost in the national title game to Evangel Christian, but Flanders almost an unheard of record as a head coach for the tenure he's had at Christian Community.
Yeah, and we see Nathaniel Rowley taking the snap back there as he hands it off.
It's a rush on the right side. It's to Joshua Collins. Collins, right side, stiff arm. Loses the ball, but ruled down by contact. Stop him down at about the 12-yard line.
Nathaniel Rowley in there at quarterback for the second straight possession. Nathaniel Rowley has had a huge career at Christian Community with 4,085 passing yards, 80 touchdowns to only 12 picks in his 4-year career. Just an example of a system quarterback who went up through the system, learned it, and is now reaping the benefits here at the All-American game.
Joshua Collins, a senior out of Tallulah Academy, one of several of his teammates being selected to the All-American game. Rowley, right side, incomplete pass intended for Cameron Muller, senior out of Birchman's Academy. Just scrambled the ball a little bit when he got the snap. It's to second down and goal.
It was a good pass, but it was a little bit behind him. Forced the receiver to have to turn his shoulders and didn't get back in time to catch the ball.
Rowley orchestrating the backfield. Motion, hands it off. Up the middle. Got several men to bring down Cameron Muller. Third down and goal. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but avoided several tackles on that one.
Yeah, and this offense looking flat-footed for the last two plays. They have given this defense a run for their money so far. So let's see what this offense can come up with on third down. You know, surprisingly, both offenses not mixing it up very much, just running simple short pass plays, up the middle runs. We saw the Stars were lining up in a I formation, just very, very simple offense in this one, and the coaches don't want to confuse these new players too much.
Rowley scrambles. He's got pressure down on the 20-yard line. Big sack for the defense.
And this puts the offense in a tough position here as we look. This offensive line has a little bit of a lapse. Looks like a middle linebacker blitz is probably what confused the offensive line and gets Rowley down in the backfield at the 21-yard line. It's decision time. Do they have a field goal kicker? It looks like they're going to go for it as Rowley and Pugh back on the field.
Brooks Pugh, another teammate from the Christian Community School Colts, one of the best receivers in the Middle Tennessee Athletic Conference for 2018.
769 yards and 12 touchdowns, definitely Rowley's #1 target this season.
It's a huge factor for the Colts state championship over the Webb School. Deep toss right side by Rowley. Brooks Pugh, incomplete. And going for it on fourth down didn't pay off on that one. It's a turnover. We'll see Team Stars take on offense.
For somebody who had an opportunity to see quite a few CCS games this season, I have major flashbacks seeing that play. That is a play that they've run in the red zone a lot. Brooks Pugh is certainly Nathaniel Rowley's red zone threat with 12 touchdowns this season. He's a very aggressive receiver, and on that one, just slightly overthrown by Rowley. Pass goes grazing out of bounds.
So 1st and 10 for Team Stars. Looking for something here. He's got pressure, but got time. Scramble, left side. Tanner Brown manages to get to the 35-yard line. Big first down to make something out of nothing. Managed to do that so well for Bowling Green Christian Academy on the season, and he does it here in Gatlinburg.
Yeah, Tanner Brown has been fantastic this season. He's definitely a fun player to watch for Bowling Green as he bounces out to the left side, and his speed is very deceptive. He's more known as a pocket passer, but if he gets in trouble, he can get out of that pocket and run for it. Gets about 10 to 12 yards on that play.
Tanner Brown, one of many Bowling Green Christian Academy Warriors players drafted here to this All-American game. More selected, the proper term.
Bowling Green, a team that likes to run the ball a lot. He only had 12 touchdowns, but only one pick to go along with that on a very accurate passer rating.
Here's Brown, right side. That's a pitch over to John Trahan from Riverside, the senior, down to the 40-yard line for a gain of 5 yards.
Yeah, and in the 8-man Extreme All-Star game, John Trahan was nursing both sprained ankles. Didn't get a lot of touches, not a lot of opportunities. So here's the opportunity to show scouts what he's made of. He's been an 1,000-yard back for 2 straight seasons. Been their #1 defensive player. Has even filled in a quarterback and receiver. He is definitely an athlete-type player and can play wherever you put him.
He's followed in the footsteps of his older siblings who've also gone through that Riverside Christian Academy system, led them to several the MTAC Division II championships when they had Division II, as well as some state championships back in the day. Sweep to the left side. It's Taylor Wood again from Russell. Gain of about 2 or 3 yards. Third down coming up.
Yeah, and Taylor Wood, a senior, this is the last ball game, and he's been a big player for Russell Christian. And it's going to be interesting to see how they use him with his speed and athleticism tonight. Or excuse me, this morning. I'm not used to calling games in the morning.
This is our earliest morning we've ever had for calling a football game.
Certainly, and we're on Eastern time.
Yep. Timeout called by Team Stars. 7:32 left to go in the first quarter in this 8-man All-American game. Eight 8-0, the Stripes scored first on a handoff to Rowley. 7:32 left to go in the first. Just right side, Trahan again trying to push through. That defensive line is not having it. Stopped at the 40-yard line, behind the line of scrimmage. They call forward progress actually at the 42. So 4th down and 2, big decision for Flanders to make.
Yeah, there's definitely been some confusion on this offensive line so far. Looked like only 1 or 2 guys even touched a man on that play. And these guys, elite linemen that have made it here, there just seems to be some type of confusion happening that they need to really figure out with the coaches.
Now 4th down and 2. Big decision here for Andy Braddock, and they're just going to punt it away here. It's Riley Hall, deep back to receive Preston Sloan from the Tennessee Heat, but no chance to return it as it goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of punting on 4th and 2, but I like the decision there. They got to stop on the last possession, and they're playing the field position game. They know that they have a great kicker in Riley Hall, so they can play this game all day. Eventually, they're going to get a good play, but pinning this offense back is probably the best decision they could make.
It's now on the 32-yard line. See what the Flanders offense has in this one. They've got Rowley. Everyone on the right side. Handoff, that's to Allen.
That's a handoff to number 9, Cameron.
Excuse me, that was Cameron Muller with the handoff, number 9. It's a handoff for gain of 3 yards for 2nd and 7.
Yeah, and this up-the-middle offense has been what both teams have been relying on so far. Not a lot of shots have been taken so far, but I would expect to see that open up once. I believe this offense is really trying to open up the pass here because they have a tremendous quarterback and tremendous receiver core. They've been handing it off to open that up. The defenders are going to start sneaking up, and that's when they're going to take their shots.
Rowley, it's a pitch left. Derek Jefferson, one of the main keys for the backfield of Christian Community this past football season, gets a yard short of the first down.
Wasn't a starter, but will be next year. 58 carries for 744 yards and 11 touchdowns. Just probably one of the most yards per carry of any running back in Middle Tennessee Athletic Conference history. Just so efficient, around 13.5 yards per carry. That's a first down on every run, Spencer.
Him and his teammate, the only teammate he was a junior. Derek Jefferson, a junior this past season, will be a senior, and the key running back is right side rush again. That's actually Jackson Dotter. I was just about to talk about the senior starting running back MVP, but for the MTAC tournament or MTAC postseason MVP, and managed to lead his team to a state championship and to cap it off. He was most valuable player in the postseason.
Personally, I think Jackson Dotter is the most college-ready player on this field right now. Can play both offense and defense. He was one of the strongest running backs and linebackers in the league with 593 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns, along with 63 tackles and a couple sacks.
So star on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball, which in 8-man football, a lot of players have to be stars on both sides to have a successful run. Rowley under pressure. Finds a pass to Pugh, tries catching it up there, incomplete. It's good coverage there by Vincent Reynolds, the senior out of Russell.
Certainly looked like he was hit before that ball came down, but the refs letting them play in this one, and I can definitely respect that for a All-American game. You want to see what these guys have and not dictate the game based on penalties.
They had one penalty on the game thus far that we didn't even catch what the penalty was, but they enforced
it. Looked like a block in the back.
Forced it on the spot of the foul. Now 2nd down and 10. Rowley alone in the backfield with motion. It's a handoff to the left. Rush for the first down. It's a rush for Collins. First down and 10.
Now on within the next couple of plays, I definitely expect them to take a shot here. Might try to run it up the middle here. Oh, and looks like they got a new QB going in, so maybe not. Maybe they get him acclimated a little bit.
They spotted short of the first down marker, so it's right on the 50-yard line for 3rd down and 2.
They got Demario Weathersby in there. He's a senior basketball star as well, averaging 18-8 and a couple steals. Definitely a dual sport quarterback who's extremely athletic.
Here's 3rd down, fake handoff. Cameron Muller took the direct snap to get the first down at the 46. So the Stripes team just pushing it down the field.
So now I'll go back to my original theory. I think they take a shot within the next couple of plays.
I mean, we've definitely seen Flanders go for those risks through the Christian Community games we called this past season. As Rowley scrambles, he's tugged down by the jersey, brought down to the backfield by Josh Austin. Huge sack there for one of the other potential Division I athletes, or even Division II, III. One player who's definitely going to pursue football at the college level when he graduates.
Definitely, and for a line that's pretty much held their own this game, just a lapse on that defensive end. Haven't worked the right side a lot, but Nathaniel Rowley rolling out, not able to escape the defense on that play.
It's now about 2nd down and 15 after the sack. There's Austin weaving through on that one. Looks like they're going to have Rowley alone in the backfield again. Conductor in his own art is timeout called by Flanders.
Now, Spencer, let me say something real quick. That was going to be the shot play. That was the play they were going to take a shot. So I guess I was right.
Maybe they got a wire in the booth or
maybe
something.
so.
2:59 left to go in the first. 8-0. There's a false start there. We'll get our second penalty of the game.
Offsides on the defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Make that an offsides. So it's 2nd down and 11. A little bit of the sack taken off the board there. Here's 2nd down.
Cameron Day was a little bit overly eager on that play. Not a huge gain, but enough to. Oh,
and another jump offsides. That was by Josh Austin on that play.
So that sack is completely neglected.
Offsides on the defense, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
That sack is more than canceled out now.
2nd and 6.
If they jump again.
If they do jump again. They're staying still on that one. Here's Rowley. Looks for the pass, left side. Overthrown, incomplete. Looks like it was intended. Couldn't see, was it? Looked like it may have been intended there for Sloan, but incomplete. 3rd down.
Looks like a little bit of miscommunication there, but two guys that are some of the best at what they do, they'll connect. Some point in this game, those two are going to connect. We were excited about that one.
Yeah, the connection between Preston Sloan, senior out of the Tennessee Heat, who went to the playoffs for the first time since, I believe, 2013. Maybe a little bit earlier than that. It's been a long time since they got there. Of course, lost in the consolation, lost in the semifinal to the Webb School, and lost the consolation game to Lancaster Christian. But the Tennessee Heat finished 4th place on the year.
And Preston Sloan was definitely the leader of that team statistically and in the locker room. A guy who could play offense, defense, and kick return. You know, never really put up incredible stats in one area, but because he put so many good stats in so many areas, he was able to get that All-MTAC First Team award for his kick return offense and defense. I believe 3 touchdowns on return, and that's incredible, especially for a high school player who didn't take all of the returns.
Especially at the 8-man level. 4th down and 6.
Bowden in the game.
Yep, Matthew Bowden in the game. One of the key players for Lancaster Christian Academy on the season to lead them to the playoffs for their first year playing 8-man football. We'll tell you about that in a little bit. Pass to Joshua Collins on the right, met by several defensive players, brought down, ball pops out after the play there. That's Arvizu, the senior out of Evangel Christian, getting that big tackle there and turnover on downs.
The Stars playing very, very, very strong and motivated defense now. Had a bumpy start to begin the game, but
legal shift on the offense. 5-yard penalty, penalties decline. First down, blue team.
So they turn it over on downs, and it looks like the clock is still running on the turnover on downs there. Stop at a 2:14 turnover for Team Stars. They're going to take back possession. We'll see what Andy Raddick can cook up here.
And that was one of the most confusing illegal shifts I've ever seen. Did you see what was going on?
I didn't see anything on that play particularly there.
Looked like Bowden wasn't ready for the snap count. He was just running to the line.
Regardless, first down and 10 with the turnover, ball exactly on the 50. Here's a scramble here for 19. That's Colby Fields. Walk-it player right side, incomplete pass. Colby Fields is a junior out of trying to see the acronyms we have here on the roster. Colby Fields, junior, and one of the nationally recognized players for the NAAPS. Several thousand passing yards on the season. Last minute came in for Tyler Henderson, who had an unexpected injury on the season, but good on him to get in this game, especially for being recognized.
Yeah, Colby Fields, the quarterback for Lighthouse, has stepped into this. This is his first 8-man game ever, and it's going to be interesting to see how he plays.
Yeah, quarterback for Lighthouse Christian. I believe the team out of Alabama, not the one in Antioch, Tennessee, but huge pass in the backfield was brought back down.
And there's Daughter. He was all over that one.
Yeah, Jackson Daughter, you mentioned earlier, the statistics he's put up on defense, on paper they don't look as significant, but that's because the team he was with the Christian community, they had so many different guys that they could go to, and with the Flanders system, it's just so many guys that they go to make sure that everybody is making big plays when they matter.
And he was a fullback. He only showed 5 yards per carry, but it was 5 yards per carry, literally. He's the most consistent running back I've seen in a long time.
We'll get the call.
Got a legal procedure on the offense, number 5. 5-yard penalty, repeat third down.
So they bring it back. It's another offensive penalty. And third down and long here for Team Stars.
This offense having some trouble getting things going here early. Not a lot of yards, a lot of losses. They're going to need to clean up these mistakes if they're going to be able to drive down the field.
About 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Deep pass left side by Fields. Sloan on the coverage. Didn't end up with it. That's a great reception. Jared McMullen out of Russell Christian with a big play.
That was an incredible catch, and that's an example of trusting your receivers. He throws it up. He knows he's got a great receiver in Fields, and he just comes up with it. That's an opportunity of who do you trust more, your receiver or the defender to pick that ball. That opportunity, he trusted his receiver, trusted him correctly, and was able to come up with a huge gain for the Stars.
Preston Sloan on the coverage.
That was amazing coverage. That was amazing coverage by Preston Sloan. No doubt about it.
Sloan doing all he can on that one, but just a fantastic needle and thread situation with the final seconds in the first quarter winding down.
Looks like they're going to try to get one more play off.
Fields hands it off. It's a rush up the middle by Wade Watkins. Stop down, but the ball is taken out. Taken by Jackson Dotterer with a big defensive play. With 5 seconds left to go in the first, a big turnover.
And Jackson Daughter has been player of the game so far, no doubt about it. A couple of huge defensive plays on this possession, but he's been everywhere tonight. This morning. Excuse me, I got to get used to that.
This morning. Getting too used to that Friday Night Lights mentality.
Yeah, just had my coffee, and I'm still saying tonight.
So 5 seconds left to go in this quarter. We'll see what they try to do here. Maybe take a shot in the end zone, maybe?
I don't think so. I think this will be a run to the running back, handoff to, yep.
Fake handoff, Rowley, the middle. Well, he might get to the end zone on this one. It's actually not Rowley, that's to Mario Weathersby. all the way down to the 28-yard line as time expires. Big play for the senior out of the Wilkinson County Christian School.
See, I don't mean to destroy anybody's game plan here, but they've run that read option about 10 times and have gone left every single time. I don't expect them to hit that right side once or something that they don't like over there. They have not run to the right side but once, and it was on a designed run play.
End of the first 15 in the National Athletic Association of Private Schools All-American 8-man football game. 8-0 lead for the Stripes over the Stars. First play of the second quarter. It's a rush on the left. Joshua Collins again with the rush.
Another run to the left. This defense is going to have to adjust here. Expect that run to the left. There's something that they don't like in this defense or that they're trying to exploit in this defense, and we haven't seen a play go to the right side in a long time.
So 2nd down and 4 on the 24-yard line. So after the ball's turned over, it's a shovel. So they will re-kick again.
It's a good return. Good decision by not taking that at the 40.
It's now 13:55 left to go in the second quarter. 16-0 lead for Team Stripes already.
And the Stars team is going to need to step it up here on this possession, or this game's going to get out of hand. The Stripes offense is just moving too fluently.
So here's 1st down and 10 from the 45. I think they're just waiting to get out of the timeout huddle here. Now 1st and 10 under center. Handoff up the middle. It's a rush to the 50-yard line, gain of 5 yards. That's Luke Johnson.
I like it. Line up in the I formation, run in the 1 or the 2 hole, and make the defense fight for those stoppages. On that play, a little push up the middle got them 5 yards. If they can do this a few times and get some progress on the field, then the defense will suck in on that run and it'll open up the pass, and then the defense really has a problem on their hands.
Luke Johnson, the junior from the Wichita Warriors, getting the rush there. And weave up the middle for Luke Johnson again to push through for the 1st down and more to the 41-yard line. It's Luke Johnson at 6'2". Big reason for him to be middle linebacker on that one.
Yeah, exactly. And I would expect him to maybe give it to him one more time if he's got the energy, because he's getting them big yards. This lineup is getting yardage. It looks like the offensive line is finally starting to figure it out for the Stars.
First and 10, handoff, right side. Johnson again to the 35-yard line. We'll spot it at the 34. Second down and rule this second down and 3.
And this is fun to watch. And I know we're watching an All-American game where, you feel like things always have to be happening. But now for an offense that has just hit the brakes, right now they're finding a guy where they can get some positive yardage. So I would expect them to keep giving it to him. And if they're not, it would be a fake and a bootleg. They're going to use him.
Here's second down. It's Johnson again, left side. First down, pushes through to the 22-yard line.
This is impressive. He's running all over this defense. Nobody on the Stars have been able to do it this far.
So now just outside the red zone, Team Stars trying to get their first score of the game.
Wouldn't be surprised if it was another run to him or a bootleg.
Here's I formation under center. Hand it off, pitch. It's Johnson once again.
The defense has to know what's coming at this point.
Down to the 19-yard line. They're in the red zone, short of the first down by about 6 yards.
This offense has struggled, so commit to that run and let them hurt you at other places. If they can show that they can pass the ball efficiently, then you got a problem on your hands. But make them prove it.
It's the same thing we saw all season that was going on with several teams in the Middle Tennessee Athletic Conference, was that they trusted their backs a lot and kept giving them the ball, and some of the defenses were able to read it, but not a lot of them were able to compromise on that. As, again, the defense stuff. So it wasn't Johnson on that play. It was John Trahan trying to go up the middle. They stopped the rush. Third down and 6.
I think that's an interesting decision there. John Trahan, who's a much, much smaller back, than Luke Johnson, running it up the middle as a fullback with no blockers in front of him. That's not his game.
So there's a rush again. Instead of going with the pass, they just stuffed Johnson for fourth down, a loss of a yard. Make that about fourth down and 7. Big decision here for Coach Braddock.
And I think in that decision on 3rd and 6, they're expecting to run up the middle, and as you saw, they fully committed to that run. Maybe fake the handoff and run a bootleg going left. You'll have your tight ends wide open, some big boys on that line, and you'll find a man because they overcommitted to that run on that play.
10:03 left to go. Timeout for Team Stars. .03 resuming after the timeout. Fourth down. Stars are going to go for it. Dumps it off to the left. Brought down in the backfield. Brought down at the 28-yard line, and a turnover on downs for Team Stars.
You got to have more trust in your quarterback in that situation. You got 3 All-Americans on your roster, and after 2 negative run plays, you're going to run a sweep play to the outside against the side that's been killing you all night on 4th and 8 and you're in the defense's territory. Not very fond of the play call, and the offense's the offense's execution goes completely unnoticed at this point with 0 points on the board. Hopefully next drive they can utilize the fact that they're running the ball well and be able to open up some passing lanes because they got some good quarterbacks in there.
Derek Jefferson coming into the game. They've got Rowley back at the quarterback position. Gave a few plays there to they gave a few direct snaps there to Muller.
At this point, I think that they're probably going to split the quarterback usage by half.
1st and 10. Hand off to Jefferson. Tries to get it up the middle. Gain of a yard, 2nd and 9.
And Jefferson's a guy at CCS who's had a very, very, very strong line in front of him, able to find holes easily. But here, the defense is just so strong in this one. With all these All-Americans coming at you full speed, it's a little bit harder than playing in your typical high school league. Especially different at 2nd and 9. Jefferson again. Immediately met by McMullen. Brought down for a loss of 2 yards. 3rd down and 11. And once again, I don't know what they're seeing, but back-to-back runs to the left side. They're not working that right side at all.
So now a decision for Flanders to make here. He's got Sloan and Dodderer coming in. We've seen some of those run-pass options by Christian Community that have worked fairly well. Maybe something they want to try here.
Definitely, and they can learn from the cautionary tale on the Stars' offensive possession. You don't need to run on 3rd and 4th down.
So they got Rowley in the backfield with Sloan, Dodderer in motion. Going to pass it here to Sloan. Quick pitch brought down by McMullen in the backfield. Brought down to the 15.
That was good pursuit, but he saw all over that. Mullen just was working the flats. I don't think he probably should have. I don't think he should have thrown that ball. I think he should have gotten out of the pocket and thrown it out of bounds or looked for another option because that wasn't open at all. And looks like they're going to punt for the first time tonight. Excuse me, this morning.
Yeah, this morning. They're going to trust Matthew Bowden from Lancaster Christian to do the punt. They have deep back to receive Taylor Wood from Russell. This will be the first time we've seen them punt tonight. I said tonight as well. I'm in the same boat with you. Here's Bowden. And they're just going to let it bounce down to the 41-yard line. We'll see if the Stars can get anything going.
And that was about a 45-yard punt or a 40-yard punt for Bowden. He's got a good leg. They can utilize that going forward and play the field position game.
So 7:25 left to go in the second. Plenty of football left to play here in Gatlinburg, the Rocky Top Sports Complex. Spencer Thompson and Isaiah Austin proud to be on call, not just as representatives of 8-Man Extreme, but representatives of 8-Man football everywhere for this All-American game for the NAAPS. 1st and 10 on the 41-yard line. See if Stars can get anything going. They have Will Day rushing out to give him the play call. Handed off up the middle. That's a handoff to Noah Shears, the junior from Evangel Christian. Gain of about 4 yards. 2nd down and 6.
And Noah Shears, another guy who has deceptive strength. There we see him just blow through the line for 4 to 5 yards, and it wasn't even – I thought he was going to get a loss on the play. Line was exposed immediately.
Same formation as the last play here. And it's going to be a pass left side, wide open, tight end. There's Josh Austin. All the way to the end zone. Touchdown for Team Stars.
He found him wide open. Like I said, Spencer, that bootleg is going to be wide open. They completely overcommitted to the run. You see everybody suck in, and he found his tight end wide open.
He's a defensive star. He's a tight end on offense. The amount of skills that Josh Austin has on the football field.
And he's got another year.
Got one more year before he manages to probably get a good amount of college offers, especially after this game. So they won't try for the field goal here. They're just going to go for the 2-point conversion, and they won't get it unless he can push the scrum. Won't quite get it there. 16-6, so the Stars make it interesting. Down only by 10 now in this All-American game. Kickoff for Team Stars, and they'll get the ball to start the second half. They kicked off. That's a return for Zach Roberts. Gets to about the 44-yard line, 1st and 10.
And let's see how this Stars team responds. Because they missed the 2-point conversion, or excuse me, the Stripes team, because the Stars missed the 2-point conversion, this is still a 2-possession ball game. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this, conservative or aggressive with 6.5 minutes left on the clock. I would say it's an opportunity to burn the clock because it's obvious that this Stars team wants to run the ball to open up the pass. Very West Coast style offense. So if they could run this clock down to about a minute or 2 minutes, definitely under 3 minutes, it's going to be tough for this Stars offense to march in crunch time.
It's Austin Hall and Day on the line. And rush left side, Dotterer trying to go through. There's a flag down.
It's like maybe a hold. First offensive penalty of the game. Besides that, illegal formation or shift.
Yeah, first offensive penalty.
First live ball penalty on offense.
Yeah, live ball and for Team Stripes as well. I think that's their first penalty of the game. I think the rest of them have been on Team Stars.
We got a 5-yard face mask on the defense. 34.
Okay, I just saw the pilot.
First down.
So they called that on John Stock.
Okay, I just saw a pile up in the backfield. I assumed it would be holding, but it looks like it was a penalty on the handoff. And only a 2-yard penalty on that play.
Well, it was a 5-yard penalty apparently, but didn't move us that far. Rush right side for Weathersby. He's got space. Weathersby's tiptoeing the sideline, trying to stay in bounds. Gets down to the 35. Big play from Demario Weathersby.
Yeah, Demario Weathersby just got to the outside. Ends and linebackers sucked in, and he was able to bounce to the outside. Weathersby, so quick. He's really a dual-threat quarterback. We've seen a couple plays from him so far tonight, and they've both been runs and both gotten first downs.
And Weathersby again from Wilkinson County Christian. 6-foot quarterback, 185 pounds. Made a name for himself this season. He's in his senior year as he looks ahead to college.
Okay, he's illegal participation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
So illegal participation on offense. I don't think I've quite heard that one before.
I haven't either. I'm not really sure what that means.
I haven't heard that one before. It may have been illegal substitution is what was meant on there, but first down and 15 on the 40. So Rowley looking for someone to pass to. Up the middle. Pass. Bowden with the one-handed catch.
What a catch. I hope we got the replay on that play.
You see that kind of stuff and you're immediately thinking of NFL names. You're thinking Beckham, Brown. Unbelievable.
Oh, he just went up and snagged that with one hand.
Unbelievable.
Not just tipped. He got that with all of his palm.
Unbelievable. How many offers do you think you're going to get after a catch like that?
Well, for somebody who, you know, arguably has gotten the most college attention from the 8-man level for around this region, it's not for nothing. I mean, he makes plays like that on a nightly basis, and if he doesn't make a highlight play like that, he's had a down night.
And movement. Looks like it'll be offsides on Cameron Day.
Could be a false start.
Offsides on the defense.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty, first down.
Looks like the tight end and the nose guard jumped at the same time, so interested to see what they called there, and they called an offside, so that just brings them that much closer to the end zone.
So not first and goal, but it is on the 7-yard line.
Expect only runs here.
Here's Rowley. Expected, but it's going to be a pass. Rowley, left side, incomplete through the hands of Cameron Muller.
It's an interesting play call because now the clock is stopped with 3.5 minutes and plenty of time for this electrified Stars offense to march down the field after this possession.
So now 2nd down and 5. Expecting most of the rushes here, especially with the weapons they have in the backfield, but looking like they're going for the unexpected plays.
Yeah, DeMario Weathersby, probably coaches want him to showcase his arm a little bit here.
Here's Weathersby, shovel pass, left side, end zone, easy touchdown. Joshua Collins, again the senior from Tallulah Academy, makes his way into the end zone.
And that's the use for Weathersby on this team. Yes, he does have a strong arm, but his athleticism and ability to run that option play and quarterback dives is why he's so valuable to his team.
One of the valuable assets to his team will be graduating with the class of 2019. And if he hasn't already, I'm sure that one of the 20-plus scouts here will give him some sort of offer or some sort of discussions. As will, looks like almost all of these players, of course, making it to this game should get offers. 2-point conversion attempt is waiting on a call. It's good. Catch made by Preston Sloan. Another 2 points on the board. 3:25 left to go in the second. 24-6. The Stripes lead over the Stars. Here's kick out of bounds, and looks like I think they'll likely re-kick it again.
This is getting ridiculous.
The amount of kicks going out of bounds.
Just kick it onside at this point because you're backing it up so far.
Kick out of bounds on the kicking team. Team will receive the ball on the 35-yard line. First down.
Smart decision for them to make after the amount of kicks that went out of bounds in the last set.
If they're worried, if they're worried about it going to Taylor Wood, then why not just squib it to a lineman in the second level?
Now first down on the 35-yard line.
And again, the Stripes offense didn't run the clock, but I mean a huge advantage so far. But it's going to be very important for the Stars to get something on the board here before halftime, or they're going to have a tough time getting the morale in the locker room, because I know people don't understand how a exhibition game like this could be that emotional, but for a lot of guys, this is their last game, and it's as competitive as any other game. And a lot of them are here with their brothers or family, the guys who got them success in the regular season, and it's still very, very competitive for these guys.
Scramble in the pocket for Fields, looking to make something. Deep toss up the middle to 27. Diving catch, he made it!
What a catch!
Brock West with the reception. The junior was the junior to make that catch.
That was an incredible pass. That was a 50-yard pass by the quarterback on the run. You see, he gets out of the pocket. He's about 10 to 15 yards out of the pocket before he starts his progression. The defense is running at him from his right side and just slings that thing about 45 yards to his receiver. What a catch. I don't know how he saw that on the run like that.
It's a junior from Maranatha Christian Academy. He saw that because he's 6'2". He's got the height to be able to see that. Here's a scramble again for Fields into the end zone, incomplete. Pass intended for Taylor Wood.
And Colby Fields, we talked about him earlier, but he's a junior and certainly a college prospect. 4,000 passing yards, more than 4,000 passing yards, actually closer to 4,200 passing yards with Lighthouse Christian. A lot of great size, and he's going to be a huge college prospect come his senior year.
It's always fantastic to see juniors who have a lot of great skill in the football field, and that they have one more year of high school football to see how they're going to perform going into their final year of their high school career.
Yeah, and it's tough with expectations on those guys. See if they'll live up to it or not. He's one of those guys that if he goes half of the things that we expect him to do next season, he's going to be a tremendous athlete and definitely a college prospect.
2:41 left to go in the second. Timeout called. Play resuming after the timeout called by the Stripes. And Fields again looking for something. Goes on the right. Forced out of bounds by Jefferson.
Fields is having himself a day. Maybe should have tried to stay in bounds, because if you score here, they got another chance to score. But
great last-minute substitution in for the injured Tyler Henderson. He's shown up as a junior.
Definitely, and you know, a guy who has played 11-man his entire life and was a super late addition to this roster. He's really showing that he can compete with the best at 8-man, even though it's an entirely different game. It's kind of like, you know, the guy who runs the handball league. You know, handball. He said if LeBron quit basketball and played handball, in 5 years he would be the best handball player in the world. I see Colby Fields in the exact same light.
Man. You see him as one of the best handball players in the world in 5 years.
That was a terrible analogy.
I know. Rush left side. Luke Johnson on the left.
I don't know a thing about handball, but
handball's an okay sport. It's It's not to the national level. Maybe the NAAPS needs a handball division at this point.
I don't know. I don't know if Americans can deal with another sport at this point.
They got so many options at this point.
Maybe put handball in the summer. That would be fun.
I mean, we've got so many sports at this point. I mean, heck, have you watched any of the Pro Bowlers Association at all?
If it's on at a hair salon or something, not on my own will.
They've got some competitive players in that. Not to disregard them. Left side pass, Fields, incomplete.
He had the right idea. He definitely had the right idea on that play, but just not in position to catch that ball.
So 1:33 left to go before halftime as the Stars are trying to get another touchdown on the board, make it less of a climb to get back in this game after the half.
I think it'd be interesting to see if they put John Trahan in or another quick back and try to run this, because they got two. This is definitely 4-down territory. You're down by 18 points. A field goal is going to make a little dent, but you got to get some momentum going into halftime.
You know, they had Davis. They had Riley Davis kicking some field goals in practice yesterday, but
it looks like Luke Johnson is good, and Noah Shears at fullback. This is a deadly lineup right here.
The handoff. Johnson finds his way in, plows through, touchdown.
He just found the hole, got tripped up at about the 4-yard line, but stayed committed and fell into the end zone. Important score there for the Stars.
What's even more important is this 2-point conversion. Even though it'll be a 2-possession game, this 2-point conversion solve a lot of things for them.
A lot of times you'll look at these games with heavy competition and a lot of skill. It comes down to the 2-point conversion and ability to execute from that 2-yard line. But I think that this team, although they didn't get the first one, are more than prepared to score these 2-point conversions with the type of offense they're running.
Here's Johnson again. 2-point conversion is good.
Every 2-point conversion. Don't change it up. Just switch the side.
24-14. Stripes lead the Stars by 10. 1:27 left to go in the half. Kalen McLean kicking off here. The Kalen McLean, the junior from St. Andrews Suwannee. One of the players that, of course, Suwannee had their struggles this season, going from their one-loss season year prior and going to the MTAC Bowl game, going from that to missing the postseason this year. I believe one win. I think they have one win in overtime over the Heat, 20-19. The Suwannee Mountain Lions. I think it may have been 1 or 2 wins this season, but to go from a 1-loss season to a 2-win season. But of course, Kalen McLean to make it here to this All-American game.
Yeah, and Suwannee was one of those teams where they could have gone 2-6 or they could have gone 5-3 with how many close games that they played in, but just not enough senior leadership, not enough seniors for that matter. An upperclassman to be able to lead that team to several wins. But that team, a lot of potential, but just couldn't get it done in several games.
Rowley, pressured by Austin, scrambles. He's going to take it. Right sideline, about to the 40-yard line. Now 2nd down and 6.
And good that he got out of bounds so that clock stops.
Time management. Looks like that's a key thing. The key thing the Stripes are wanting to do thus far. So 2nd down and 6.
Can we go back to that pooch? That pooch kick, that is exactly what they need to be doing. Now, I don't mean on replay. I just mean...
I don't have a replay of it anyway.
Yeah, that would be the most boring replay ever. Maybe I'm the only one who wants to see it. That was exactly what they needed to be kicking.
Motion, Rowley hands it off to Jefferson. Here's left side. He's not going to get it opening. Behind the line of scrimmage, loss of 2. There is a flag down.
Now this flag is interesting. If it backs up the offense, this defense has an opportunity to get a couple stops and get this ball back.
We'll see if we can get something from him here.
Holding on the offense, number 42.
Interesting.
10-yard penalty. Second down.
This complicates things for the offense. A minute 08. If you're the Stars, do you try to ride this momentum, or do you get the stop and kneel it? Let's find out. I'm interested. How many timeouts? Oh, it looks like they got all 3 timeouts, so this might get interesting.
Yeah, the Stars, if they wanted to stop the clock at all, they could.
2-minute drill for the team that just met each other 2 days ago. 2-minute drill might be difficult to pull off.
Minute 8 second
yeah.
drill. 2nd and 15.
I say if you get a big stop here, you call a timeout and try to get the ball back. But if they get yardage, you just let it run out.
Rowley rolls to his right, pressure, brought down for a sack.
Call that timeout. Call it.
Cameron Day, the junior, bringing him down.
It's time to call that timeout, Coach.
And they're not, it doesn't look like they're listening to your advice, Isaiah.
You call that timeout, you got a minute left on the clock. Then they run another play. You got another minute on the clock. It's 4th down. You get the ball back with 45 seconds left and a timeout at about the 50-yard line with a quarterback who's going off right now. You can get another score on the board. But right now, it looks like the priority for the coach is to get to halftime, talk to his guys, and get reacclimated.
It's looking like what they're going to do. And timeout is called.
I don't know why they would wait that long to call the timeout.
Timeout called by the Stripes, actually, so I guess they do have timeouts.
Oh, okay.
Scoreboard
it just says 0.
Yeah, scoreboard was saying 0 for the home team and 3 for the away. 28 seconds left to go. We'll stay here since we're so close to the halftime break. And Isaiah and I will give a halftime report in about 28 seconds. We'll give our thoughts and analysis on the first half. Of course, we'll take the break for halftime. And of course, Tommy Thornton talking to his guys on the stripe sideline, defensive coordinator for Christian Community, led them to their first 2 MTAC championships in school history. Back in 2009, 2010 when they went on that NACA run. Stayed with Christian Community for several years as their defensive coordinator. Got a 3rd MTAC championship under his belt this year. Tommy Thornton, one of the long-tenured coaches in the Middle Tennessee Athletic Conference and for A-man football in general.
Definitely an OG of the 8-man football realm in the Southeast.
We could start naming them, but a lot.
I want to.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're thinking of too. 3rd down and long. Here's Rowley looking for the pass. Reception. It's Collins, left side. He's going to get stopped out of bounds. Stop the clock on the 33-yard line. So 4th down now. 18 seconds left to go. Maybe a chance for a punt return touchdown here. Or either that or just a fair catch to try and take a deep shot or 2.
Yeah, let's see who they put back. Might not try to put anybody back. This offense's main focus may be just to get to halftime. You never know what the coach is thinking. There might be an issue going on over there that we don't know about.
That'd be interesting to see if Flanders would just want to get them to halftime there. I mean, they've got their guys standing up. Like Buchanan has his helmet off, but he's looking at least like he's standing up fairly decent.
He's been limping around, so I don't know if they'll give it a go or not.
So 4th down and 13, they are going to punt it away. Bowden is back to receive as Taylor Wood, but it's going to be stopped at the 49-yard line. They're going to let it run down 3 seconds. Make that actually 2 seconds left on the clock. So 1 play left here for Team Stars. They could take a shot in the end zone here. 1 play left for Andy Braddock's team. Now 2 seconds left, Isaiah. You've played the game before. 2 seconds left, 49-yard line before halftime. You're down by 10. What do you think would be the call if you were in this position?
I think you either kneel it or if you have a receiver you really trust, you try to lob it to him. I don't think there should be any quarterback in here besides Colby Fields. He's shown that he has the strongest arm out of the quarterbacks. They all have their own skill set, but he definitely has the strongest arm. Try to give it to your best receiver in the end zone. Make it not returnable if it gets picked off, but play it conservative as much as you want to be aggressive.
They got two receivers back out on the right and left. Clock expires. Deep toss left side, and incomplete.
That probably should have been pass interference, but
no call on the field for that. There's some protests from the sideline, but end of the first half, 24-14. The Stripes lead over the Stars in this 8-man football All-American game for the National Athletic Association of Private Schools. Isaiah and I are going to give our halftime report in 30 seconds. Welcome into halftime, everybody. I'm Spencer Thompson along with Isaiah Austin. 24-14 the score. The Stripes lead over the Stars, and we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, it looks like it's going to come down to coaching. And obviously, it looks like both sides have had some good play calls and good things going on, but it looks more like Stripes under the leadership of Flanders and Thornton. They've just been getting the more accurate play calls to get them to this position of leading by 10. Definitely,
and I think that definitely the Stars came into this game not knowing exactly where their offense was going to come from. They tried passing the ball, they tried running to the outside, but when they decided to hand the ball up the middle to guys like Luke Johnson and John Trahan, that's where their offense came from. And it wasn't a big shot offense. It wasn't a flashy offense. It was a run it down your throat, we're going to make you sweat for it kind of offense. And because they ran that kind of offense, the bootlegs opened up. Quarterback Colby Fields really emerged as their top guy in that first half, was able to get a lot of big passes, and his receivers came up big, and the Stars team is on the move, but the Stripes team holding their own with a 10-point advantage so far in the first half.
Now, obviously, they have the injury of John Buchanan. I believe one of their other players was out
just received word that he is out for the game with a sprained ankle.
Buchanan, sprained ankle, out for the game. So what is it going to take for Stripes to just hold their own and to make sure that they lock up this game?
Well, it was obvious in the first two plays that John Buchanan was going to be their running back. But in a game like this, it's next man up. And the next man is more than prepared to step up. I think that they're going to need to see more out of Preston Sloan, who's a guy that we expected to have a really big game, has not had a lot of opportunities in this game. I expect that to change in the second half. Guys like Jackson Dotterer, expect to see Brody Hebert in there at quarterback, a guy who 71% completion rating with 43 touchdowns and 2 picks. He's going to be good along with Nathaniel Rowley. Might see some Deuce Bragg. They need to utilize their passing weapons.
They haven't even utilized Deuce Bragg at all that we've seen in the game. I'm sure he's going to make an appearance in the second half.
2,600 yards and 37 touchdowns.
They have the quarterbacks grader,
for sure.
And the only 8th grader at this All-American game, too. It's going to be fantastic to see how he participates. 24-14 at the half. Stripes lead over the Stars. We'll be back in about 7 minutes for coverage of the second half. start of the second half here from Rocky Top Sports Complex in Gatlinburg. 24-14, the Stripes team leads over the Stars. Stars receive for the second half. Rushed by, rushed by Vincent Reynolds up the middle. Stars received for the second half. Spencer Thompson, Isaiah Austin, proud to be on call here. And thanks to the many, many people of you in the beginning of the broadcast and throughout the entire thing telling us about the colors being off for the teams. Got that adjusted for you. Always appreciate that, and of course the stream going out earlier. We apologize for that, but
yeah,
we're live, good to go.
Spencer's colorblind, but we're working on it.
Yeah, they're working.
We're working on it.
We have top men working on it.
Yeah, someone who's not colorblind, me.
24-14, Stripes lead over the Stars. Coach Flanders and Thornton have been leading this team to victory thus far, trying to go for that throughout the rest of the game. Incomplete pass to the left side, incomplete, intended for Austin. So now 2nd down and 10.
If you're going to line up in that really I formation-esque offense, I'm a big believer that bootleg is what you need to run, not necessarily just a play-action bench-type play where the guys sprout out in different directions. I think that if you're selling the run really well, a play-action bootleg where the receivers are moving along with the quarterback as he rolls out of the pocket is what's going to work best against this secondary that's over-committing to the run right now. The quarterback dropping into the pocket is causing the defense to be able to get pressure, and it's forcing him to get the ball out of his hands quicker.
Quarterback in the shotgun. Texas time. It's a high snap all the way over. And falling on, that was Will Day under center. Under center back distance. High snap over his head to the 18-yard line. Huge loss on 3rd down.
And disaster strikes again for this offense. You can tell that probably was not the game plan coming out of halftime.
Maybe that was the game plan for 4th down if they had to punt it, but not the plan for an offensive 2nd down. So now 3rd down and long on the 19-yard line. Stars have to have something overcome here. So now 3rd down and long here for the Stars. And almost looks like a defensive offsides there. Scramble for Will Day. He's under pressure. Brought down from behind. The ball is loose. Picked up. Noah Shears picks it back up. Staying on his feet. May be able to make something out of here. Gets brought down at the 19-yard line. He's able to get it in the backfield. And see if I could get a replay on that one for us, but tripped up in the backfield.
Just wanted to show how much time he had in that pocket. This secondary has really been strong. We didn't get it, but Will Day Cameron Day. No, excuse me, Will Day.
Will Day, the junior.
Had plenty of time in the pocket to get that ball off, but this secondary is just clamping on these receivers, and it's really, really hard for the quarterback to find anybody open.
So punted away. Back to receive is Sloan. Bounces to the 39-yard line. We'll stop it down there. And we'll see the Stripes come back on offense. We have yet to see Deuce Bragg, the only 8th grader at this All-American game. And we mentioned it earlier in the first half, but I mean, they're always – all of the players who are here definitely deserve to be here at this All-America game, but an 8th grader for what he did in his first year in 8-man football, definitely deserving to be here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I don't know how much playing time he'll get because he's an 8th grader, but it's really just the fact that he can say that he is an All-American as an 8th grader. And that's not a fluke, and that's not the fact that, it's 8-man, but he really is a tremendous quarterback. And if he gets in, everybody will get to see that firsthand.
And Sloan takes it on the right side, loss of a yard, 2nd down and 11. So Weathersby alone in the shotgun. Motion for Sloan. He'll hand it off. Preston Sloan finds a little bit of an opening. Gets to the 39-yard line. A flag down.
Hopefully they can continue to work it to Sloan. I expect to see a lot more touches in the second half for the great running back from the Tennessee Heat.
So now 2nd down and 11, waiting for the consensus with the officiating crew.
Face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
So defensive face mask there, just a 5-yarder. The clock continues to run. 11:40 left to go in this game. $11:30 left to go and winding down. 2nd down and 5 on the 44-yard line.
And let's see if Rowley can get something going here on this drive.
Rowley, a conductor on offense for the Colts, in his final it'll be his final football game of his high school career. That option goes over to Collins, left side, to the 41-yard line. We'll spot him at the 40. Looked like he could have pushed forward for it.
They just swarmed him.
Yep, to the 40-yard line. They bring him back despite the penalty, 3rd down and 9.
Both defenses, although they both had their struggles, especially with these guys not having played together before, the one strong suit for both defenses has been guarding the flats and guarding that underneath route where the running back or the fullback or even the tight end for that matter will slip at the line of scrimmage, try to find an outlet. No yardsmen have been received by either team on that type of play.
Here's a rush up the middle. There goes Weathersby. He's got space to the 40-yard line. Big 1st down for Weathersby.
Yeah, and look at this agility. I hope we got that because of the end of the play. He slips a couple tackles here, fakes the pitch, cuts it up. Look at how he pops up. Look at that. That is just pure athleticism there. Looks like a gymnast. He's probably one of those guys that could switch to gymnastics just because of how agile he is.
Maybe the scouts will look at him here for gymnastics instead of football as the rush goes to about the 34-yard line. There's an injured player down on the field.
Well, Spencer,
from here, that's Vincent Reynolds injured.
You know I'm just yanking your chain, right? Okay, I'm just messing around. But that was a gymnast.
I'm just saying he might. I'm just saying he might. I mean, regardless, you never know. Some college scouts, they're here to look at the guys for football, but they may find maybe they see Riley Davis kicker. They think maybe they need somebody on their soccer team for their college. 2nd down and 3. Handoff to Jefferson. He's got up the middle, the 1st down and more. Derek Jefferson to the end zone. Touchdown for the Stripes.
It was only a matter of time before Derek Jefferson broke free. Had a couple runs already, got stopped at the line of scrimmage or just before, but this one able to break free and show why he's such an efficient running back.
Just up the middle, cuts through on that one.
My favorite Derek Jefferson run this season was his 90-yard run against the Tennessee Heat on the first play of exhibition. Ran 90 yards almost completely untouched.
Big run for him there.
What's up?
Now, 30-14, 9:52 left to go in the 3rd. And 2-point conversion attempt. And ball high snapped up. Bragg got a snap in. So Deuce Bragg for the first time in the game on the 2-point conversion. And he goes back. 2-point conversion, no good. 9:52, 30-14. The Stripes lead over the Stars. So 30-14 is the kickoff. That's a return. John Trahan on the kickoff return to the 42-yard line. Just caught it a few yards back. And good field position for the Stars, but we've seen them start with good field position and have different things cost them a chance to drive down the field, including offensive penalties and just some missed snaps that we've been seeing.
Yeah, and this is an important possession. They're still only 2 touchdowns behind if they get the 2-point conversion, which I think that they will if they continue to run it up the middle with Luke Johnson. But this offense is going to need a spark here. Last possession was a disaster, but maybe try to switch up their game plan a little bit and find something that works.
We heard some news that there were several schools having some viewing parties across the nation for this game. I'd like to thank you for tuning in and opening your doors to host many people for this All-American 8-man football game, as well as all the other viewers, as a big push through the middle, first down. Again, Luke Johnson, man we've been mentioning a whole bunch today, gets another 11 yards.
You know, I wish I was a coach that had him on my team. He would get 25 to 30 touches a night. He's a guy that very, very reliable. He's going to get you the yards and opens up your passing game.
He's opened up the rushing and passing game certainly today. Ball on the 48-yard line and muff snap. I think it's a turnover. No. Picked up by Luke Johnson. Looked loose there. Good awareness for him to get the ball back. Gain of a yard for second down.
I will say personally that's probably my least favorite play that a football team can run is that fullback dive, especially on 1st and 10. That's a play if you need 2 or 3 yards with a big boy, but in there you put a speed back in there at fullback and run it up the middle. He has no blockers. It's not going to get you many yards.
Second down.
What's the handoff to the running back here?
I formation. It's a handoff to the running back. It's Johnson again. Gain of about 3 yards on the play to the 44. Third down.
I expect to see maybe a bootleg here or a play-action pass.
You're pulling a Tony Romo already on me in the new year.
I am. This offense is getting predictable. Not in a bad way, though, because they're getting yardage with this predictable offense because they can't stop it. The defense hasn't found a formula for it. I'm sure Coach Flanders could tell you the next 10 plays that they're going to run. But there's just no recipe for it yet.
Third down on the 44. And it's a pitch to Johnson. It was an awkward movement for him to do that.
Weird.
Right side, Sloan in pursuit, trips him up.
That was a very weird play.
Yeah, especially with the movement in the pocket before that shovel pass.
It looked like he faked the shuttle pass, then threw it to him, and then he reversed field for a loss.
So now to the 42-yard line.
Did you see Brown take a shot at Derek Jefferson on the backside of the play after he pitched it? Jefferson.
So 42-yard line for 4th down and 4.
One last shot.
They may hand this off. That might be the option here.
And they give it instead of to Johnson. They surprise everybody with Shears, and he gets the first down.
That's when a fullback dive works. On a 2 or 3 yard need, that's when you do it. It is not a first down play. It is not a second down play. It's a 3rd or 4th down play.
So now 1st and 10 on the 38-yard line. The Stars are keeping themselves alive in this All-American game, down by 16.
If they score here, they're not just alive, they're in it.
So hand it off again. Ran the same play as they did prior. Instead, they handed it off to Will Farrell, sophomore from Evangel. 2nd down and 6.
Their offense is getting yards with this run, but eventually you're going to need to pull that thing out and try to find a receiver because now they're committing to the run and your averages are going down.
It doesn't look like they have Colby Fields back in the game. They may have just chosen to only play him for the first half. but they certainly need somebody in. And there's a handoff, right side. Goes up the middle a little bit, just short of the first down marker, 3rd down and 1.
Sorry for the camera issues.
Not a problem.
We'll bring up 3rd down.
So now 3rd down and 1. Looks like they're trying the same option again. Brown under center, hands it off to Johnson. 1st down and more. Into the red zone for a 1st down on the 18.
Such a strong back. I can't see them losing yardage on this play. If he has a blocker in front of him that will get him to the line of scrimmage, he'll push through and get a few more yards. He's not a guy that's going to run a 50 or 60-yard run, but he'll get you 8 yards every play.
It's been a while since the Stars have been in the red zone. Going for their first red zone drive of the 2nd half.
It's important that they get a score here in the 3rd quarter before this 4th quarter hits, because the way this game is going, a lot of clock is being burned here and not a lot of scores are being put up on the board.
Handoff, Johnson again, finds the opening. Gets to the 5-yard line for 1st down and goal. It looked like he would have been completely gone. 1st and goal for the Stars.
They're really relying on Johnson in this game. A guy that coming into this, we knew he was good, but he has really taken over this game.
So they're going with the same form. They've had the same formation on every play in this drive for the I formation. It's handed off. Johnson again. You're right about the dependency as he gets brought back for a loss of a yard.
Looks like he didn't have a block on that play, and he was just stuffed to the line of scrimmage. No matter how big you are, there's nothing you can do about that.
So 2nd down and goal on the 6-yard line.
This offense is playing very, very conservative and safe. Not a lot of mistakes to be made from this offensive style.
Here's Brown. Makes the handoff. Brown's going to take it. We've seen him take several rushes throughout the regular season. Rolls over several players to stay on his feet. Ruled down at the 4-yard line. So now you've got a decision to make on 3rd and goal.
You know, this offense has got the ball moving so far, but Spencer, it's time to pass this thing. I'm not a huge fan of passing in the red zone like this. I really like to run the ball, especially when you're at the 4-yard line like this, but you're in a situation here where they have completely stopped the run, and you can pull that thing out and bootleg it or play action, as I've been saying all night, and that's going to be wide open. If the pass is on target, then you're going to get a touchdown.
An important 3rd and goal in the game. Johnson again. Johnson, end zone, touchdown, but a flag down. They might bring this back.
And they opened up the floodgates on that one.
Looks like this is going to be on the offense.
Holding on the offense, number 56. 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Holding on Hunter Bolin is called for it, so they do bring it back. Still 3rd and goal.
And now it's certainly time to pass this thing. 12 yards to go and only 2 downs. This is 4th down territory for sure. You got to pass this thing. Try to get close to the goal line, if not into the end zone.
It's Hunter Bolin from Preston Christian. It's one of the, of course, Bolin, another senior. The majority of the roster here, probably about 60 to 70% of all the players here are seniors in between both rosters. Both of them having star seasons, as well as star careers for football as they play their last football game for high school. Here's 3rd down. Fake handoff, Brown, a nice reverse handoff. Here goes left side. Jared McMullen trying to push it through. It's now 4th down and goal to about the 8-yard line.
That was very good blocking, but the defense were just ready for it. This kind of trickery doesn't work so well with a team that's only had 2 days together. Almost broke free, though.
Now the clock winding down, 60 seconds left to go in the third.
I don't really see the purpose in kicking a field goal here because you're still down by 2 touchdowns if you make this. Okay, they're not bringing the field goal unit on.
Yeah.
I got some misinformation.
Yeah, thinking they would go for a field goal. We haven't seen Riley Davis yet, but Johnson stuffed. They rule him down for forward progress. It's right side. Tanner Brown goes in, but they do rule for forward progress. Didn't get the pitch out in time. So now 34 seconds left to go, and it's a turnover on downs.
At some point, you have to trust your quarterback to throw that. You have 8 yards to go, and you're going to hand it off to a run game that's been shut down a few plays in a row. I don't think so. I think it's time to pass that ball.
Didn't work there as Flanders' offense will take over. And it looks like still a quarterback. We'll see Demario Weathersby, Wilkinson County Christian native, senior, will lead the offense for this drive, at least for this play. Jefferson is to his left. Handed off. Jefferson finds the opening. He's got wide open field. Derek Jefferson, now the leader of Christian Community. He's the leader of that drive's touchdown. Just like we saw against the Tennessee Heat in their first game, about 90 yards for a touchdown.
Unbelievable. Had a little bit of a rocky first half, but his past 2 carries have been long touchdown runs. He's been very impressive tonight. And once again showing that, with Daughter leaving, that's going to leave a huge hole at this Christian Community team.
Just as huge a hole as was left open there.
But I mean, who better to take it than Derek Jefferson? He's going to hopefully match that production next year from Daughter.
Two-point conversion attempt for Stripes, and Bragg in on the 2-point conversion attempt. Looking for the pass. He's under pressure. Brought down. 2-point conversion, no good. 36-14, the Stripes lead over the Stars with 20 seconds left to go in the third. And kickoff return here for Taylor Wood. Stays on his feet. Down to the 29-yard line. 11 seconds left to go in the third.
And Taylor Wood has been a return specialist so far in this game. Not a lot of size, but a whole lot of for what he doesn't have in size, he makes up for in quickness. See, just on that return alone, he was able to get about 20 yards from the spin move and the juke to free himself up.
So now 1st and 10 on the 30-yard line. So here's 1st and 10, 30-yard line. Scramble, that right side pass to Taylor Wood. Staying on his feet, pushes through to the 43-yard line is where it'll spot him down. 2 seconds left. gets the return to give decent field positioning for his team, and then they get to the 43-yard line for a big first down gain.
And Taylor Wood, his first run on offense so far, and it's a big success for this offense.
Last play of the third quarter. Here's Will Day. Pass left side. Incomplete. Marshall Masterson could have had that catch, but good coverage. Third quarter has come to a close. 15 minutes left. 36-14. The Stars lead over the Stripes in the National Athletic Association of Private Schools All-American 8-man football game. Start of the fourth quarter, 36-14 in this 8-man football American game. Spencer Thompson, Isaiah Austin, fortunate enough to be calling this game as a reception across the middle. Brock West getting the ball across for a first down to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, and those routes ran through the middle are really, really freed up for this Stars team. Look for them to go back to that kind of pass play. It's opened up because the defense is coming in for the pass, and it's opening up a little cove between the front line and the secondary.
So now first down on the 42-yard line. They are into Stripes territory as the Stars are trying to make it back in this game. They've got 14 and a half minutes to do it, so enough time to potentially get a few quick scores.
And you got to remember, these are 15-minute quarters. They have a long time to get back into this one.
Scramble. Here's Colby Fields. Toss left side. Almost a completed pass. Great coverage by Sloan to prevent the catch being made by Brock West.
Yeah, and you saw that was almost passed. He went up for that ball, bobbled it, and the other receiver almost came in and caught it, but incomplete, and it brings up a second down. But once again, we see Fields back in at quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of production they have back there.
So now second down and 10. The Stars are trying to get something going on offense here this fourth quarter. Second down and 10. Here's Fields again. Right side, catch is made. That's John Trahan on the reception. Gets a gain of 6 yards for third down and 4.
Yeah, Fields has had himself a very, very good ball game. He's emerged as probably the #1 quarterback as far as yards go in this game so far.
Spot him for a gain of 5 yards for third down and 5. And again, Colby Fields came in for Tyler Henderson to this game. Henderson, lower body injury, unable to participate in today's game. Honored at the beginning as Fields, deep toss right side. It is intercepted.
Bowden went up and got it.
Bowden with the interception.
Another incredible catch for Bowden.
It's hard to see him within the mess there, but here's Fields. and just gets picked off there. First interception of the game.
As we watch the pick, message for scouts. Do you need a corner? Do you need a linebacker? Do you need a running back? Do you need a receiver? Do you need a quarterback? Do you need a safety? Well, I got the guy for you. Matthew Bowden.
Do you need a jack of all trades? Got one in Matthew Bowden. That's the first interception of the game. And with the amazing catches that have been made already by Bowden, just another one to add on to his stat list for this game.
Yeah, and Bowden, a guy that, if a college when a college picks him up, he's going to have the opportunity to be grown or be farmed up at any position that they want him to be. Probably not line. I don't think that would be the greatest use of his talents, but any position.
Here's right side attempted rush by Weathersby, brought down right at the goal line for second down, so they don't rule that a safety. It was a close one there. It's about at the half-yard marker.
Just give him the safety.
And that's one of those things where pylon cameras would come in handy.
You're not allowed to review at the high school level, though.
Yeah, not at this point because they don't have the cameras. Imagine if coaches at the high school level could have a challenge flag if the camera angles and such were there. That would be interesting.
I think it takes some of the fun out of it, the human aspect of it.
Second down and 16. Ball handed off by Rowley to Collins. He's got room on the left side. Collins forced out of bounds by Reynolds. Huge gain, 1st and 10 on the 29-yard line.
I thought he was going to go all the way. Another Derrick Henry run. Just takes it. Simple handoff play, but everybody picks up their blocks, and he just blows past that secondary for a 28-yard gain.
So now 1st and 10. Weathersby looking for something. Deep toss right side. Intercepted.
Got it right back.
2 interceptions in the game, and that comes at a clutch moment. Brock West.
Oh, we got a flag on the play.
But we'll see if they take it back.
Holding on the red team, number 5. Penalty decline. First down, blue team.
Offensive holding, and the interception from Brock. Just caught the back end of that one. Looks like he came up towards the ball on that one. That's only that. And of course, you don't have the full extent of the play there.
Yeah, Brock West, a junior, going up and getting that ball, getting revenge for the interception that his QB threw about 5 minutes ago.
First and 10, new life for the Stars. Handoff. About at the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10, attempted rush by Will Farrell.
Yeah, and they're going to need to find another offensive focus. They have to try to pass this ball. They're not going to be able to run their way out of this game down by 3 touchdowns. It's not time to panic yet, but it's time to put the foot on the gas and stop keeping the game on a bicycle. It's time to get in the vehicle and start driving it.
Can I have your money if I say next time they hand it off to Will Ferrell? If I say
2nd down and 10.
26, Ricky Bobby.
Fields. Deep pass up the middle. Tended for McMullen, incomplete.
Just slightly overthrown, but had the right idea. They need to work on getting these short passes a little bit. They don't need to decide between running the ball or taking a shot. They need to work this. They need to run like a West Coast style offense where they can open up the pass from the run. But when it's time to open up the pass, you got to pass it. And taking a shot like that, maybe not what they need at this point in the game with 11 minutes to go.
So 3rd down and 10. The Stars trying to grasp for life in this game. Down by 22. Of course, the last game for the last high school football game for a lot of these players, a lot of the seniors, or every one of the seniors on both squads. It's right side pass. Incomplete.
Should have been picked again.
Could have been either Bowden or Sloan on that one getting the interception.
I am confused by the play call here. Why do you take a shot here when you have plenty of time on the clock? You have essentially what is a full quarter to go by high school standards. And I'd say you got to go for it here, but you got to put it in your best guy's hands.
So now 4th and goal. Obviously take a shot here. At least try to get some form of first down. Here's Fields. Right side. Incomplete.
That's the right idea, though. You got to run plays like that. Because he was open.
Wade Watkins, the intended receiver, incomplete, so it's heading back the other way. 1st and 10 on the 45 for the Stripes.
This defense needs a 3 and out, and this offense needs a score. They could make this thing look lopsided if they can score it here.
1st down and 10 on the 45. And now we will see the quarterback Deuce Bragg at the offensive position. The 8th grader, we've seen him on some of the 2-point conversion attempts, but now he's taken over the offense for a drive. Bragg hands it off. Tripped up in the backfield is Muller. 2nd down and 12.
Great pursuit by who looks like Riley Davis of Bowling Green. His last game of his career. Might go play college ball, though. Has been a big prospect at receiver.
Yeah, Riley Davis is just a kind of a jack of all trades for Bowling Green, especially being a wide receiver, one of their star defenders, as well as a kicker. Seen him do some field goals in practice and a little bit through the season. As it's handed off right side. Collins, Joshua Collins, right flag down. Collins still on his feet. Collins weaves through. End zone touchdown. Let's check the flag.
It's coming back on a hold.
55-yard run by Collins, flag on the play.
A great run, but it's coming back.
See what they call here. They're having a discussion with the side judge. Yep, looks like you're going to be right on that one. The players are starting to walk back.
It was a blatant hold, and I was surprised that they weren't throwing the flag, but eventually they did.
It's on the play on both teams. We got a holding
It's
on
offsetting.
red, and we got a face mask on blue. Penalties are offset. Replay 2nd down.
So they replay it because of offsetting penalties on that one. So you're right about it coming back at the very least.
Deuce Bragg did a good job. He didn't even have to pass the ball, and in 2 plays they went 60 yards. Looks like they got a new guy back there, though.
Yeah, take that run by Collins off of the board. Fantastic play for him to weave through the defense. 2nd down and 12. Here comes out Brooks Pugh.
Brooks Pugh might not be the most dynamic receiver as far as highlight plays, but he has glue on his hands like nobody else that's here. I think he may be the best true receiver out here.
As Bragg, the ball's fumbled, knocked out of his hands. Did the Stars recover it? It's turnover on downs.
And it looks like that's not Bragg that was in there at quarterback. Who is out there?
It looks like it was Weathersby. So they put Weathersby in for that one. Excuse me. It looked like it was it may have been no, not Weathersby. It actually, yeah, it looked like it was Weathersby. Let's look at the replay.
Looks like number 5.
Okay, so they had Jared McMullen at the quarterback position. He was looking for the pass here, and as you can see by the replay, just stuffed. Here's 1st and 10 after the turnover on downs. The Stars trying to go to the right side, brought down for a loss of 2.
The game plan has to change. Let these All-Americans showcase their abilities. This is probably the 20th carry for this guy. He's had a great game, but it's time to open up your options.
As far as we have seen, every player from every game has gotten some time, of course. Everybody's gotten in. On 2nd and 11. High formation, scramble in the backfield. Staying on his feet. Going to the right side.
Oh, good hit by a quarterback. Man.
That's a big play by Will Day to go to about the 14-yard line inside the red zone.
That kid's got guts.
There is a flag. They may bring this back just a little bit. Maybe. It might be maybe after the play.
We got a personal foul, face mask, number 7 on the defense. Half a distance to the goal, 1st down.
So that's a play called on Bowden for the face mask. So they move it closer to the end zone. They'll move it to the... I guess they already moved. They already spotted the ball, the 6-yard line.
And what's interesting is that run by the quarterback is not bad defense at all. The defense was so good that he had to force that run, and he was able to get a big first down.
And ball fumbled. There's a muff snap and 2nd down.
It looked like they were about to hand it off again. I don't think they're getting the success anymore from that run up the middle. It was so successful there in that 3rd quarter and maybe early 4th quarter, but the defense completely has their number on that play. Got to switch it up.
So now 2nd down and goal on the 6-yard line. Towards the end of this game, turnovers has been the story with 2 interceptions. I think we had 1 or 2 fumbles, fumble turnovers. As
has their number.
Johnson
has their number on that play.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage, 3rd and goal. Just over 7 minutes to go in this 8-man football All-American game. Spencer Tomset, Isaiah Austin, proud to be on call, representing 8-man extreme and 8-man football all across the nation. It's been a fantastic game to see, and we can't wait to call the 11-man game after this, too. You thought the competition was good in this one. It's going to be fantastic in the next one.
And, again, the 8-man extreme all-star game that we called a couple months ago wasn't nearly as dreary this year because we knew that guys would be playing in this game. So this game kind of taking the sadness and the departure from football that all of these guys will have to inevitably, or most of them, some of them will probably go and play in college, but will inevitably have to face. These guys will never play with their teammates like this again. So it's going to be a tough pill to swallow after this one, but hopefully they can enjoy it, enjoy these memories, and go out swinging.
Sure, there's been a lot of memories made this weekend out here in Gatlinburg as timeout called by the Stars, 36-14, 6:07 left in the game. Offensive play, touchdown. That's a touchdown run up the middle, and 6 points for the Stars.
And they're right back in it, but they have to get this 2-point conversion. In order to tie this thing up, they're going to need to get 2 out of 3 2-point conversions on 3 touchdowns. If they want to win it, they got to convert all of them. This is where it comes down to 2-point conversions.
Down by 16. Trying to make it down to 14 because otherwise they've missed 1 2-point conversion thus far in the game. Of course, coming back to bite them at this point. 2-point conversion attempt coming up.
It's going to be interesting to see what they draw up. I doubt that they'll run a pass play on this just because of how much they've been running the run up the middle. Oh,
here's an attempted pass, left side, incomplete. Short intended for Brock West, 36-20. 6:03 left to go in the fourth. 16-point deficit for the Stars.
And on that play, it just confuses me that you would do a play action pass and roll out right, but the only target be a flat route to the left side. So the quarterback has to recenter his shoulders, go back into his progression, turn all the way around, and try to throw a pass over the receiver's shoulder. That is not going to work 9 times out of 10.
It's been a rush-heavy game for the Stars. The Stripes have seemed to have a good mixture of passing and rushing, especially with the weapons they have in the backfield. So 6:03 left to go in the game. And set to kick.
It's getting a little windy out here. Yeah. Having trouble getting the ball on the tee.
Trying to get it on the tee. Riley Davis kicking off. Riley Davis, of course, getting his action in. They haven't tried any extra points with him or any field goals. Of course, we've seen how it's been all season with the Colts. They're not used to having a field goal kicker. They always go for the 2-point conversion. So Flanders, of course, just opting not to try any extra points, and it's benefited them thus far with a lead by 16.
Oh yeah, and I'm a huge believer that in 8-man you have to go for 2 because that is way more efficient. You have way more field to work with. If you have a kicker that's making 2 out of 3 field goals, and your 2-point conversion team is making half of the 2-point conversions, you're still more efficient than that field goal unit. You only kick a field goal if it's guaranteed points every single time down. If you're going to make a field goal, 90% of extra points. If it's 50, 60, 70, I say you go for it. That means you're flipping a coin for 1 point instead of 2, and it's not guaranteed.
1st and 10 on the 20-yard line with the touchback. It's a handoff. Push up the middle for Dotterer. 2nd down and 4.
They need to force a 3 and out here. Try not to use any timeouts here early. They have 2 remaining. If they get a first, you might have to burn a timeout.
Ball handed off. That's Preston Sloan up the middle for a 1st down.
Looks like they got enough time on the clock that they won't have to call a timeout in this situation. But a 3rd or 4th down conversion for a 1st down could have caused trouble for this defense. If they keep letting them march down the field, they're going to have some trouble.
1st and 10 on the 32-yard line. Bragg in the quarterback. Hands it off. It's Collins again. Collins to the outside. Staying in. Be forced out of bounds by Johnson.
Yeah, he's had a great game so far. Joshua Collins, the senior, has really been showing out in this game.
You know, the one big thing, you know, we talked about with Deuce Bragg is that, you know, as an 8th grader, the 2,000-plus passing yards he had on the season, we haven't seen much passing from him in this game, but that's mostly because Rowley and Weathersby earlier in the game have led it to the point where they're not having to pass as much.
Oh, yeah, he's been the relief quarterback so far. Just get it, hand it off, and he can pass if he needs to. But just remember, this kid is 13.
The handoff to Dotterer up the middle, stopped for the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10.
Second down.
You're right about him being the relief quarterback in this situation. He's been anything except for the relief quarterback for Lancaster Christian during the regular season.
Yeah, he's been getting them into the relief.
Leading them to their first they're in their first season of 8-man football. Shovel pass. Sloan loose. Picked up by the Stripes. It's picked up by Vincent Reynolds, and the Stripes have it back.
Looks like maybe a bobbled pitch. I'd have to see that one more time.
So
probably shouldn't have tried to pitch it in that situation. Looks like maybe Sloan went in motion a little bit too early and got too far out. Quarterback panicked and tried to pitch it to him, but just way too far away.
Just couldn't quite get it there, but the Stars get it back for 12. The Stars again have new life. Again, this 4th quarter, the major story of it has been turnovers with 2 interceptions, now about 3 fumble recovery turnovers.
It's just these guys have not played together. Mm-hmm. There's just not that chemistry to the level, unless it's teammates that you're going to find from a traditional high school team or a game.
Brown in the shotgun. Pass right side. Incomplete. Tipped. Tipped, 2nd down.
Yeah, and look for this offense to pass on every play. It would be wasteful to try to run here. You got to do everything you can to pull this game out.
Second down and 10 on the 41. And then we got Fields back at quarterback. Fields scrambles. Deep pass in the middle.
Wide open.
Wide open. Touchdown. Big hit at the end of the play, and he's down.
He just walked into the game. That was his first play in the game.
Taylor Wood with the reception came back, and easy touchdown for the Stars. They're still in it.
They're right back in this thing, but they got to get this 2-point conversion here. You see, that was his first play in the game, and the return specialist, Taylor Wood, goes up and gets the ball. Again, as I was saying earlier, not the biggest guy in the world, but he makes up for it with his speed.
And like you said, they have to get this 2-point conversion, otherwise it is a 2-possession game.
It really complicates things if they don't get the 2 here.
Doesn't give them a chance to tie it up. Only gives them a chance. They have to get the ball back, of course. You know, with their kickoffs, actually, that was Stripes who was having the issues with kicking it out of bounds. But with onside kicks, we haven't seen as many of them in this game, of course. It's always been booted back. We might be seeing an onside kick attempt coming up here, but a timeout called by the Stripes. 3:57 left in the 4th. an all-needed 2-point conversion here. Brown in the shotgun. Gets motion. He's going to take it to the left. Can Brown make it?
No.
He stopped short. Ball comes loose.
Such a shame.
Stop him there. 10-point game.
We could have had a really, really, really tight ending there. But they're still in it, but they got to onside this.
First things first, they have to onside it here.
They can survive if they don't onside it here, but their offense is going to need a lot of things to happen.
So 3:57 left to go in the game. They have to get an onside kick, and it's a 2-possession game. It's more unlikely, but anything is possible, of course, with these All-Stars.
And both coaching staffs very, 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 they know this moment. They know this last 4 minutes, making strategy, deciding what they need to do. So it's going to be really interesting whether they decide to onside it or kick it here. If I'm them, I'm onsiding this, and if I don't get it, you still have a chance to win. But man, things are going to happen if you don't get this onside here.
So Riley Davis is going to kick it off here. Doesn't look like they're lining up at all for an onside kick, so maybe a sneak play here. He's backing up fairly enough for this. So Riley Davis will opt to boot it deep. And muffed the back of the end zone.
He's still got to return this.
He has to return it. And
very surprising.
Jefferson to the 10.
That was probably the best kick they've gotten all game. I was saying they should probably onside it, but geez, they've drilled him back in the end zone. They can get 3 stops here. Got 2 minutes left on the clock and probably excellent field position. Might even be able to block a punt in this situation. So trust in your defense here.
So 1st and 10 on the 11 with 3:46 left to go.
This has been a really good ball game so far.
It has. Been very close. A lot of turnovers in the last almost 12 minutes of play. A lot of good action in the first half with seeing people like Rowley and a lot of fantastic skills. Now 1st and 10 on the 11. They're just going to run it down. They give it to Bowden to the 14-yard line.
I got to be honest with you. Even though they didn't start out with DeMario Weathersby, I like that they're finishing the game with him. They're not looking for a pass play as Deuce Bragg comes in, but you're not looking for a pass play here. You're looking for a run, and for Weathersby, he's a master at that read option. He can read the defense, and even if he makes the wrong read, he's agile enough to get past that line of defense that he was reading.
Here's Bragg, hands it off to Sloan. Gain of 1 yard, 3rd down.
Strong defense here. This is a big down. If they can get a stop here, they got a chance. But the key word, a chance. This offense has been strong all game.
Yeah, key word, chance on there. And it looks like they have their 2 timeouts. So the big question that's probably looming over on the sideline is why not call a timeout to conserve time?
Hey, Spencer.
Yeah?
They're running it to the left.
It's a good thing I don't make bets here.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Right. You probably should have made a bet because I was wrong. That's probably going to be the game.
And it's a 1st down. They don't call any timeouts. And so the Stripes get the 1st down, and I think they're just going to run it down here.
They still can get the ball back if they get a stop, but they're not going to have time to get anything done. Unless they have a trick up their sleeve they've somehow come up with in the past 2 days. We're going to see a win here for the Stripes.
Stripes are going to get the win in the first All-American game. And there's a rush up the middle, flag down, but that's Preston Sloan. Finally brought down by the Warriors. That's that's Gage Holman. Gage Holman on defense there, but we do have a flag. I think they are going to bring this back.
Gage Holman, another guy we haven't seen run the ball yet tonight.
We got a block in the back on the offense, number 19. 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Block in the back called on Zach Rogers, senior for Christian Community, who's been one of their key linemen throughout the season. One of the big players as a senior this season.
Most offers in the Middle Tennessee Athletic Conference. I think it's at maybe 6 or 7 right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's a project type player. His potential is limitless with that kind of size.
So I believe they're setting
5 on the clock. 1:45.
1:45 on the game clock is what the referee has given us. 1:45 on the game clock. So they reset it there. They're just trying to make sure the game clock is situated.
Gentlemen, 1:45 on the clock.
They've got it at 1:45. I believe they're going to start running at any second. Ten-point difference on first and 13. So I guess they brought it back from the spot of the foul. Here's Bragg looking for the pass, left side. Can't connect with Bowden. Incomplete. Good coverage there by Marshall Masterson.
I'm confused why they elected to pass on that play because now the clock is stopped.
Yeah, they stopped the clock now, so second down.
Think about it, Spencer. After next play, it'll be 1:35, timeout. Then it'll be third down. Next play, 1:30, timeout. 1:30 on the clock with a stopped clock on fourth down. They're punting it, and this offense has time to run. It's going to be tough, and they're going to have to get that onside kick. But that pass play may have set them back.
Here's Bragg. Clock stopped, flag for a false start.
Before the snap, we got false start. Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty, replay second down.
Cameron Day, the committer of the false start. And, of course, that's expected to happen when you only have a few days to prepare for an All-American game.
Yeah, certainly. And what has surprised me is how in shape everybody looks as being removed from football for a couple months. You can really tell that these guys have been continuing to work even in the off season.
Yeah, of course a lot of them. And here comes Austin on the outside. Sloan is brought down at the 24-yard line. Third down and 11.
Now it's time for a timeout. I don't know what the delay is here. You got to use your timeout here.
And they finally do.
Now they've let 15 seconds run off the clock before calling that timeout.
1:16 left to go in the fourth. Things wrapping up here as Stripes are going to win it. .116 left to go in the game after the timeout called by Team Stars. Motion. Weathersby shovel pass. Collins again. One of the obviously all stars in the game, but one of the brighter stars that we've seen here.
Yeah, and running out of bounds probably wasn't the best option there as we have a stopped clock with 1:03 to go. They're going to have to punt this.
Yeah, so they'll have to punt it away and give them a chance here. Of course, it looks like they have 2 timeouts left, so anything possible with 60 seconds.
It is possible, but oh my gosh, these 2-point conversions are so important.
The officials having discussion here. Officials timeout. They're settling something here.
Maybe trying to figure out where the clock should be.
Timeout called by Team Stripes again.
Probably just making sure they're all on board with the same decision here, because this could impact the result of the game.
Yeah, I guess they're just making sure about stuff. So 1:03 left to go in the 4th. After the timeout, 1:03 left to go in this All-American game for 8-man football, and offsides. I think that ends it.
That ball. Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Encroachment, so that ends it. Automatic first
Result
down.
of the play will be a first down.
And that is a direct result of not playing football for 2 months. Don't have the focus that you did in October and November.
Now first down, 1:03 left.
I think you got to use your timeouts here after these plays. Try to strip the ball too. I doubt that they'll go with any kind of kneel here because you want to get everybody as many runs as they can.
So the 11-man game is set to start in 9 minutes, but of course they'll give all the teams enough
I think
time
it starts
to warm
at
up.
2.
It's excuse me, East time. It's almost 1 o'clock. I'm thinking skip hours here. I'm thinking Central Time actually. Here's right side. Weathersby gets to about the 41-yard line.
That was a late hit.
And there was a late hit. Weathersby back up. Bunch of the fans not liking that there wasn't a late hit there. Second down.
And it's been a shame that didn't get an opportunity to see Weathersby in the regular season because he is such a fun guy to watch. Just his play style is just so dynamic.
Yeah, it's a shame we didn't get to see any of the non-Tennessee guys during the regular season because all of the out-of-state people have been fantastic. So now second down and 4. Bragg in the backfield, hands it off. It's handed off to Brody Hebert, and no timeout called by.
I don't know why they're not calling a timeout here.
I'm not sure either. So third down and 8. It's like the clock winding down for the final 30 seconds of this All-American 8-man football game, the inaugural 8-man game. Sure, from here, the 2021 is going to be even brighter for the future stars we have coming up, especially since a lot of juniors are here on the national stage. Bragg in the backfield, likely the last play of the game, fakes the handoff, pass right side to Bowden. Connects. Gets down to the 28-yard line.
And that'll do it.
And they'll stop it to spot the ball. So in high school, of course, they stop to spot the ball. 3 seconds left. And they'll start the clock, and that'll do it. 36-26. Coach Flanders, the leader of Team Stripes, they beat Coach Braddock of Team Stars 36-26 in this 8-man football All-American game. What a fantastic display for all of these men on the national level.
Yeah, this game went better than anyone could have imagined. Everybody, top to bottom, played a fantastic game.
That'll do it here from Gatlinburg for the 8-man game. I believe they are going to have a prize presentation, actually, for the MVP, so we'll stay here in just a moment. We'll get that captured. We'll get it captured in just a little bit. So, PA announcer giving the MVP awards players. Just waiting on the announcement here. Of course, got Peter Coleman, the head here.
Number 10 from Tallulah Academy, Josh Collins is our offensive MVP.
Josh Collins, offensive MVP for Team Stripes. Of course, huge amount of skill on the offensive side, especially in this game. He showed up for sure.
Yeah, he really put the game out of reach for him. He made big plays when his team needed him, and they probably wouldn't have won this game without him.
For your defensive MVP, a junior from Franklin Classical School,
and there's your brother getting it, Josh Austin. Very much deserved as well, because he was just a star. I mean, he got the defensive MVP, but he was just a star on both sides of the ball in this one.
Yeah, and it's interesting him getting this award because I didn't think they ran the ball to his side more than amount of times you could count on your hand.
Now for your Ironman Award.
The Ironman Award.
Tennessee Heat, a homeschool organization in Mount Juliet. Number 1, Preston.
And Preston Sloan got the Ironman Award. And Sloan, he especially showed up in this game on both sides of the ball, but more so on the offensive side this time around.
Yeah, and as funny as this is, Josh and Preston. Josh won the defensive MVP at the 8-man Extreme All-Star game, and Preston won the overall MVP, and him with Ironman and defensive again. It's just great to see those two guys doing it one more time.
Well, that'll wrap it up here from Gatlinburg. The 11-man football game is set next, the 11-man game for the National Athletic Association of Private Schools. We'll be on call for that, a separate event here on YouTube. That starts in about an hour, so thank you for watching this 8-man All-American game. We'll see you for the 11-man game in 1 hour.